Hello again everybody. The next stitch we're going to do is Woven Picots, and I've done some of these on my little flower basket here. They're the little petals that are raised from the surface so that you can use them for petals or leaves. We're going to do petals. Before I show you on the wheel, I want to show you this stitch done larger because it's quite small the way I've done it on the wheel. You put a pin in so that the base of the pin is pointing towards you and the tip away from you. And then if you're right-handed, come up with your thread to the left of the pin. Take it round the pin, go down into the fabric to the right and scoop up a bit of fabric to take you to the right of the pin. At the moment I'm using a crewel needle, but I'm going to change to a tapestry needle. And then take the thread to the left of the pin, and now I'm going to change my needle because I'm going to start weaving. So the tapestry needle has a blunt end and it means you don't pierce the thread or the fabric. So now I'm going to start weaving. Before I do, just to say that the distance between where you put the pin in and where the pin comes out determines the length of your leaf or petal. So now we're going to go under, over and under those 3 threads that we've laid. And then the other way, you're going to go over, under and over. And then back again, under, over and under. And then over, under and over. So you could regard that as just going under the middle thread on this side. Under, over and under. So one way you're weaving under, over, under, and in the other direction you're weaving over, under, over. And you just carry on until you've completely filled those laid threads. If you're left-handed, you'll just weave in the other direction. And I will show left-handers when I get to the wheel. You'll find this middle one is a little bit shorter, so try and just pack them in as much as you can. And going to get another one in there. It gets harder to get them in as you get further up, but persevere. One more. And then when you think you've done your filling in weaving as much as you can, take the needle down into the fabric to finish off your petal or your leaf, and then you'll come up and do another one. So you can take your pin out, and that's a little raised petal. And then if I wanted to do another one, I'd put my pin in next to it and come up again on the left and round the pin, down on the right, up in the middle, and around the pin that way. So we'll now look at it on the wheel, but it's going to be an awful lot smaller. On the wheel here, I've drawn a circle which I've divided then into 5. So the little lines here you can see are going to guide me as to where to put the petals. And then I've got a pin, and you can start anywhere on the circle. I've got the base of the pin facing towards me and the tip going towards the circle, and I'm putting it in so that the tip of the pin goes halfway between 2 of the lines there. That's my needle, ignore that. So that's how the pin should sit, and the distance between where the pin goes in and out is going to be the length of your petal, so bear that in mind. I'm using a crewel needle for the moment. I'm right-handed, so I'm coming up on one of those little lines there to the left of the pin and taking the thread around the bottom of the pin and down where the next line is, and then I'm going to come up in one scoop to the right of the pin, so on the circle, and then take the thread to the left side of the pin. I'm now going to change to a tapestry needle. So I've got my tapestry needle, which has a blunt end. I've come around the left side of the pin, and I'm now going to go under the first thread, over the middle one, and under the next one. Pull the thread down, and then over, under, and over, going from left to right, and then again under, over, and under. Now you'll be able to turn your work around. I'm trying to do it with both hands so that you can see. So the next one just goes under that middle one, under, over, and under. Just under that middle one, under, over, and under. Then under the middle one again. It gets harder to get in as you get further towards the top. So under, over, and under. And I'll try and get one more in. That's it. Pack them in. And then a final one. Actually, let me do one more. If you can get more in, you get them in. And then when you think you're done, take your thread to the back and take your pin out. And that's your little petal shape. Now we're going to do another one, I'll show you another one. So the next one is the same. Come up to the left, go around your pin, come up just to the right of the pin. You can use your crewel needle again for this. Round to the left of the pin, then change to your tapestry needle, and then weave, starting with under, over, under, pulling it down, and then just over, under, over, under, and then just over. I will show left-handers how to start in a minute. Under, over, under, and over. If you're left-handed, you will come up to the right, take your thread under the needle, go down to the left, and come up just to the left of that needle. You can do it in one go if you want. I can't quite manage it left-handed. And then you'll take your thread around the right of the pin, change to the tapestry needle, and then start weaving under, over, under from left to right, and just under the middle one from right to left. I've done my 5 little picots now, and we're going to put some behind in between each picot that's already been stitched. So to do that, you can sort of lift them up a bit like that and put your pin where the original line was, so, and the length that you want the picot, and then come up with your thread, if you're right-handed, to the left of the pin, halfway across the picot, and then take it round the pin and go in, move those out if I can, halfway across the picot again, so in between the original 2 lines, and then up to the right of the pin, and then round to the left, and then change again to your tapestry needle. So it's a little bit more fiddly in that you're working behind the original stitches, and of course you could leave it as it is, but I think it just looks a bit nicer if you do some more behind. So just weave as exactly as we did before, and do try and pack as many in as you can. Oops. So under the middle one, and then under, over and under that way. And obviously if you're left-handed, you'll start on the right and come up on the left. So you should have 10 woven picots altogether, and it does look a little bit like a sunflower. So you can find some thread that looks a bit seed-like for the centre, and just do some little French knots, 1 wrap. So around the needle once and down into the fabric, and pack them in. So there it is, finished. You could add a stem, perhaps going down into one of the corners, and you could use stem stitch, but we haven't done that yet, so I may put that in later. But I may also choose to do a different stitch, so watch this space, we'll come back to it later. I'm not yet sure what the next stitch is going to be, but do join me anyway.